Here we are, 30,000 of Minnesota. We have Allie Clifton, Richard Jefferson, and Channing Frye. Here we are. Here we are here, Mark. I mean, what's the weather looking like?
The weather is looking.
No, wait. I actually talked to Michael Jordan before the game, and he was saying that he feels ready. Game 6, he's ready.
He's ready. The little NBA on NBC. That's what we all grew up watching, basketball. Ladies and gentlemen.
I don't think I was born yet, so with that, I will let you know that the road tripping crew has taken off, and they're a little hyper.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. We definitely are hyper.
You've got Kyrie Irving, Channing Frye, Richard Jefferson.
Yes, sir.
And we're all, again, 30,000 feet above sea level for tonight's episode.
Yes.
Channing.
Who are you? Who are you? I didn't hear your name.
It's the only girl in the group, guys.
What is her? What is her name?
She's our Fergie to our Black Eyed Peas.
Fergie.
Oh, that was cute. I liked that.
Thank you.
I'm your host, Allie Clifton.
That's the first compliment I've gotten in years.
That you're cute?
No. Oh, God. Here we go.
Oh.
Yeah, he's never heard that.
Wow.
No.
It is Valentine's Day.
I'm always I love your personality.
Yeah, Chang's always been a great personality
You're so
guy.
nice.
He's so nice. You remind me of my brother.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
That's how you know friend zone.
My cousin
friend
is just like you.
Friend
That's
zone.
all good. I love the friend zone.
Oh, I have a gay best friend just like you.
Okay.
Too
Edit
much?
that motherfucker right on out. Delete.
Delete.
Delete the thread.
I'm not playing with you. Delete all that shit.
Delete all that shit. So anyways, we're sitting above
the ground.
Sea level, whatever you want to call it.
And we're here.
And we're feeling good.
We're feeling good.
We're feeling
game
good.
before the break.
We're a game before All-Star break. This is
Man,
an exciting time.
The season's gone by fast.
Usually you don't want to lose going into All-Star break.
The getaway game.
It's
a trap game.
Yeah.
It is a trap game.
Yeah. You don't want to lose those games going into All-Star break. You want to feel good. You know, team's healthy, or for some part at least.
Right,
God, Jesus. It took me a while. We had teams healthy. Well, we're down.
Yeah,
we're down, big fella.
Dudes are stepping up, though.
Yeah.
Oh, mainly you.
Like yourself.
Like yourself.
No.
This guy
It's
goes
like,
and has 20 and 10, and he's like, yeah, guys are stepping up.
I wasn't even thinking about me. Like, honestly,
way
I
to
was not thinking about
self-promote,
me.
Channing.
I'm not self-promoting anything. Real C. Fry on Instagram. No, D. Will's doing great. James is coming in there, giving us good minutes. Corver's just some of the shots he takes. I'm like, that's a good shot, dog.
That's
Wait,
what.
really?
Well, Channing,
It's
why do you
unbelievable.
think we stopped running plays for you in the second unit? He is a far better shooter than
100% better shooter than me. We talked about that in the last podcast.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
I mean, you definitely are on top of my list, but
Ooh,
Kyle's got a flamethrower.
Flame.
He's got
El
a
Flama
flamethrower.
Blanco.
La Flama Blanca.
That's his new name. Dude, he has new names.
We have
all
a
the
new
time.
name, ladies and gentlemen, for Kyle
El
Korver.
Flama Blanco.
La Flama Blanco. Yes.
I think, what was
the
that from
white
that
Will you
flame?
I was going to say, will you explain?
It's from Eastbound and Down, Kenny Powers, which used to be
that.
Kenny Powers was my old alias on the road
so
for
good.
years.
Yeah.
Have you seen Kenny Powers?
Eastbound
The
and Down.
first season was unbelievable.
I couldn't
Can
get
you-
all the way into it.
Every season
but
was
The
amazing.
second season was, third season was,
But this is All-Star
For
Edition.
those who, not yet. I don't want to go there yet.
let's not go there.
Wow.
Because you just brought up a cool topic.
Yeah.
How about what?
Aliases.
Oh, aliases,
God.
yes.
Ooh.
So I can't tell my I'll tell. What is
No,
my alias
don't do
now?
that. Don't do
Explain to the listeners first
Okay.
what we're talking about.
So basically, aliases started. You have to have that when you check into a hotel, or else if you're just underneath your own name, fans can call, reporters can call.
Oh, yeah.
Because they can call the hotel.
bad.
It's not hard to find out what hotel you're in.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, hey, can you connect me with Kyrie Irving's room? And you're getting, hey, this is a radio interview or so. You just
Let me get some
random-
tickets, man.
So you basically come up with an alias, and you got guys that are President Obama. T. Lou's old one, because I played with T. Lou in Milwaukee. His name was McLovin. Right, so it was just like they would call him like, "Hello, Mr. McLovin."
Yeah.
So everybody's got what's one of your aliases that you've had throughout your time, Kai?
I've been stuck on one for a while, man. I can't say it. I've been stuck on one for a while.
What's for a while?
Mine used to be James Bond.
James Bond. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Just nutty. Just nutty.
What is
James
yours?
Bond?
Richard,
Me?
because you said
What
you're
is
about
yours?
to change yours.
Mine, I was Christian Troy because I was a Nip Tuck fan.
How
Who was-
often do you change them?
Well, you got to change it every couple years, or if you find a character or somebody you
I don't
like.
change mine. I haven't changed mine. I haven't changed
Since
mine.
you come into the league.
Yeah. I haven't
Really?
changed mine.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
Changed mine.
I
At first,
changed
I
mine
didn't
like
even have an alias. I didn't think the Cavs gave me one, and then I made up one. I think after my third year, had one
Can
ever
I
since.
tell you guys? I literally sit there and try and guess who is who.
Oh,
the
that would be a
aliases?
great.
You would know mine. You would know mine because you know mine. Yeah, mine's easy.
Well,
Is it
you-
Uncle Drew?
Oh, my God.
Drew is a good
no.
It was a joke, guys.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
No.
I don't even know his alias.
No,
Like, who
honestly, you know what?
calls?
That actually brought. You know what? That actually brought up a good thing. You know what? I'm gonna change mine for the next road trip. I'm gonna change mine.
I'm changing
mine.
mine.
Mine was Kanye West.
Kanye West. Oh, Mr. West.
K West.
K West. That's a good
Because
one.
the likely chance of someone calling and asking for Kanye West at the hotel is
Slim.
very slim.
Do you know?
Very slim.
Well, I'm changing mine. So you want to know what mine is?
What?
So mine was Beat Ho. First name Mustard. Mustard on a beat. Oh. so people would call and be like, or the people like, how you doing, Mr. Beat Ho? And it's like, good. Or like if you forget your key, they were like, can I see your ID? And they're like, yeah. They're like, what's the last name? I was like, Beat Ho. They're like,
Oh my
they're like,
goodness.
what's the first name on the reservation? And I was like, Mustard. And they just look at you and most people don't
They
get it.
can't take it
They don't
serious.
get it. They
No.
can't take it
That's
Wait,
serious.
so how does that work?
What do you mean? How's that work?
Well,
if you
they-
lose your key, what do you prove? Like, what do you?
I mean, they know us in the hotel.
Yeah,
Yo,
they
hey.
know.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they know our old
7
team.
foot.
Yeah.
So then if
I'm
someone
black.
calls,
I need to get in my room.
so if someone, okay. So if someone calls, though, here's my point: is why have an alias if they know who you are? If someone calls and says, "I need to talk to,"
No, they won't.
No, they won't do that.
They won't release it.
Alias only.
No,
They'll
they
get in
won't.
some big trouble.
Yes,
Ooh,
the
a little
only
turp.
thing that they're able to do is give us a key. They're like, "Hey, I'm in room 1002. This is my alias." They know that. It's an easy transaction because they know that the teams are staying in the hotel,
Oh, I got you.
and most of the time it's after shoot around when everyone forgets their key.
Oh, yeah.
So you still have your jersey and all of your team issued gear on. So
I got you.
that's not a bad one.
Okay, you can skip to All Star.
No, I was just saying this is All Star Weekend edition.
Yeah.
We're recording on the plane. We have our All Star Kyrie Irving.
Whoop whoop.
So we're gonna get into
Congratulations.
That was my own little party.
That's your own little party. You can have your own little party.
Yeah, you can party on Bourbon Street.
Oh, wow, Channing, that's how you feel. That's how you
Dude,
feel. What a sound, ladies
Take
and gentlemen.
one.
That was not a sound effect. That was actually Channing Frye.
No, it was not.
talking.
I did
I'm
not
actually
fart on the
excited.
plane.
I'm actually excited.
You gotta
really
be excited,
excited.
man.
I'm
It's
Really?
a-
Are
it's
you?
an honor.
No, I'm excited
play.
because this is a chance to go in, talk to some of the guys throughout the league, get to know some of the mental things, spread some bear traps,
Oh,
because we'll be
yeah.
playing against a few of them. So, I'll be throwing a few jabs here and there, some
You
bear
throwing
traps.
Koopa shells?
Whatever.
Koopa shells.
That is
I'll let
so
your boy.
But it's
trash.
always fun.
It's
always
Mario
fun.
Kart reference, dog.
It's
Like you
always
don't
fun.
love Mario Kart.
No, I apologize. We should always take a moment here for Mario Kart and Koopa Shells.
Thank you.
What? Why don't I know
Lord.
it?
It's a really obscure reference.
Did
that
you ever
Channing is
play
throwing.
Mario Kart? You're a girl. Of course you
I
played
didn't play
Mario Kart.
No, I played regular Mario and
Oh, Lord.
Super Mario Brothers.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness. Smash
Sonic.
Brothers?
Super Smash Brothers.
Oh,
my
ridiculous.
goodness.
Super
Such a
Smash?
good
Never played it.
I
Did
know
you
you
guys
did,
get
obviously.
the throwback Nintendo for Christmas?
Yes.
Yep. Thank you,
I did.
Nintendo. I love you.
Yes,
I
I
didn't.
did.
I didn't.
They are awesome.
But you weren't a Nintendo
I'm a big
person?
Xbox fan. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Xbox.
I'm not going back.
You
I'm not
weren't. You
going
didn't
back.
have that, so there's not a nostalgic feeling for you.
No.
But for me,
well, I was
and
actually in my driveway
and-
working on my jump shot.
and my-
I didn't
and
have
my-
time.
and my two
for
older
video
brothers-
games. Okay, some of us.
my two
some
older
of us
brothers
had
used
time
to
for
beat
Mario
each other
Kart.
up.
Nintendo. Okay.
Oh, dude.
I was in my
I-
driveway doing in and outs.
working
That's
on your spin off the glass.
Oh,
Somehow.
my goodness.
Somehow.
That's
Somehow.
what I used to tell people. When
My
they
dad was
asked
the
me,
mini
like,
Joe Jackson at first. I always tell him that. I always tell him that's hilarious. He was the mini Joe Jackson of basketball for me.
Just harsh.
Yeah,
Just harsh.
Yeah,
Explain.
tape my right hand to the back of my, to my
Yeah.
back. Work on your left hand all day. Shoot all left hand jump shots and stuff like that.
Oh, that's
Mini Joe
hilarious.
Jackson. But it made me stronger.
Hey, you are a
Made me
strong
stronger.
person.
You are
Maybe
strong.
stronger.
Your
And
layup
your,
game
and
is
your
OD.
left hand is above average.
Ooh, I had a
would
left
say.
hand fillet
Ooh,
tonight.
The
Oh,
fillet.
you
That was-
filet-o-fish that thing. I love a good filet-o-fish.
Yeah.
McDonald's.
Oh,
My bad.
oh, here we go. Channing is 9 for 9 for fast food references during our podcast.
I don't know what it is.
Hold on, but I have a question
Pita
for you.
Pit,
Yes.
rallies,
I have a question
McDonald's.
for you. And I'm far removed from that industry because of my thought process. And,
Right.
I honestly can't support something that I honestly don't feel like
Right.
would benefit
Right,
us health-wise.
Right.
Like fast food restaurants, they are like some of them are.
Grody.
Have you watched some of the Instagram time lapses?
No, I don't. I
Of
don't.
a 30-day span of what a specific burger looks like from this place or this
Yeah.
place.
The way I view that, Kai, is very similar to childbirth. If you watch childbirth,
Wow.
then you'll never want to. Then you'll
True
never want to.
99.
Then you'll never
Oh,
want
my
to partake.
goodness.
Listen.
So as long as you don't
There
watch,
are some parts you can watch, and there are other parts where you're supposed to keep your head up by the neck.
Yeah. Like so, as long as
100%.
so, all three of us being fathers,
Yeah.
fathers here, there are parts of childbirth that you don't want to see. I'm going to be really honest. I don't care how they make
A Taco Bell
a delicious
chalupa.
Taco Bell chalupa.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
just want to partake
By
in
the,
it. when
by
it's
the
all
way,
done.
the fact,
Give me some MSG
the
for a
fact
second.
that we are comparing childbirth
Fast food.
of our children
Yes.
to the fast food industry and the disrespectful health reasons why we shouldn't be eating it. The
You know
fact
what?
that we have
Sometimes-
beautiful children. And you're comparing it to how they prepare a burger, and you don't want to see how it's prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is
I
an
know.
awful
Yeah.
comparison.
I'm not gonna
It's an
lie.
awful comparison.
Yeah.
No.
I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. There's
No.
certain Kai. There's certain things that you shouldn't see, don't
Yeah.
want to see, and can't.
No,
unsee.
how about this?
And Kyrie,
And
do you
can't
really
then
want to
childbirth
know, Kyrie?
is something that you need to see because of
Okay.
how beautiful it is. And you need to see what it looks like for them putting all that bones and chicken
I would
necks and
stop
all
you
that
guys for a
bad
second
stuff.
and let
Yeah.
you know he is 24 years old,
No.
and you guys are what, 33?
They're joking.
36?
Yes,
They're
and he is
taking
far.
us as a
He
joke.
is far more mature.
Oh,
than
my
both of
100%.
us.
He's way more mature.
Way
than
more
we
mature
are.
than both of us.
Oh.
man.
Put together.
But that, yeah, most likely.
No, but it's crazy, and I think that you guys need to be aware of it.
We are.
Oh, we're
super
aware.
Like
We're-
there are some things I don't want to know. Like I don't know if my mind is ready to wrap around like, do aliens really exist?
Oh, here you go with the conspiracy theory.
Oh, you know it was
that's
coming.
fine. I know
Segue.
it was coming.
Segue. Listen, what
You
would
guys just
even
let
do?
me know.
What
Actually,
would that
just
do?
educate me on these because
Okay.
I don't really.
I have a
what
lot.
would you do?
Please.
What would you do if somebody said, you know what, guys, we've been lying to you for the last 100 years. Aliens exist. What would that do to your entire world?
Well, it would open it up.
Yeah.
It would
would
open,
open it up.
It would open it up.
They're
I
like
think-
everybody. There's 1 out of every 5 people is an alien.
Yeah.
What would you even do?
well,
I
do.
would-
you got to
10.
think about it.
1
You
out
gotta-
of 10.
My-
Okay,
I would definitely think I had a few ex-girlfriends that were aliens.
No,
They were
and
definitely crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
We've all been there.
Exactly.
What does
I-
that say about your judge of character?
Oh,
They were aliens, and that's
they were
why,
they were obviously out of this world.
that's why they were exes.
there we go.
Yes, everybody, Kyrie Irving.
No,
No,
but seriously, I wake up sometimes. I go outside and
Come on, man.
I go outside and I look, and then I tell them, if
Dude,
they're out
what's
there,
up?
just beam me up already. Like,
No,
I think
I do not.
I've seen enough to
Have you
really
not
give
seen
you
the
a
movie
report
Fire in the
on
Sky?
how humans are.
Have you seen the
Beam
movie
me up.
Fire in the Sky?
Is that? Wait, do they have like?
Dude.
Is it? That's when they do like
The one in
the
Phoenix.
the anal probes and all that
no.
stuff.
I think, dude, it weirded me out because it was in Phoenix. I was like 14.
Oh, jeez.
It was like, no
Yeah.
way, Jose.
Well, I mean, obviously, I think that first we need to get past the whole
Illuminati.
No, not
We're
that.
not gonna go there. Okay,
Not that.
okay,
No,
let's
not
go
that.
there.
We can
Let's
talk
not
about
go
that, but
there.
I'm just saying that what space
How-
is
oh my
and how
God.
it exists in terms of what stars are,
How
and what
minute
all
we
that
are.
and that's what
It
I'm
is
saying.
unbelievable.
Just tell us. You're sending up all these things.
But
I
there are
just
so
all
many
these,
satellites.
all these vehicles up there that are running. First off, the fact that
What are you talking
I have
about?
Do you know,
idea.
we're talking about
I'm talking
all
about-
the
we're talking
vehicles
about-
we put
all right.
in Mars.
okay,
all
who
the
was the
one we
man
put
that
on
walked
the
on the moon?
Neil Armstrong.
Yes.
The fact that his footprints don't look the same comparatively to the boots that there are in the museum
Oh.
is ridiculous.
How do you know that?
You can look it up. I look at these
look
stuff. I look at
look
these
it
things
up.
all the time.
Okay.
His boot print is not the same. So you want me to really sit back after you've proven to me? They have a picture of it and his boots side by side. I need an explanation.
Well, there's dust and
What do you mean
there's
there's dust?
there's
Stop.
cosmic
There's
winds.
no-
Why
Have
are
you
we
not
no
seen
cosmic
Armageddon?
wind in Moon.
Have you not seen Armageddon? They were going to put
what is
cosmic
this,
winds.
Transformers?
They're
No.
gonna
Dark
put-
Side of the Moon?
No, but
Great
I
movie.
just I have a very firm belief that what they're putting out in front of us is there for a reason. It just
Right.
depends on whether you want to believe in the truth or not.
Exactly.
The fact that they can make all these movies with alien descriptions and really, they're not going
Nobody's
off
that
strictly,
imaginative. Nobody is that
strictly
imaginative.
just brain power, and this is just creative things that we're going to put out to everybody. To what? Ultimately, put an alien movie out for what?
Wait right
what?
here. Wait right here.
Okay.
So this is what I want. This is what I want to get at.
Let's get at it.
Kyrie Irving, do you believe there are aliens?
Okay. Yes.
I'm asking. Okay, yes.
I believe there are.
Yes.
Channing Frye, do you believe there are
100%.
aliens?
But I don't even want to say
100%.
alien. I just want to say that there are extraterrestrial beings
100%.
that exist, or there are
In
other
our universe.
beings in the universe.
Yes, I would agree.
In the
I would
universe.
agree. I would agree with that. In the vast universe,
Oh my God! Yeah.
I would say yes.
Do you believe? Do you
I-
believe
Do I
that
believe
the Earth
th-
is round?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You believe that Earth is round?
yes, but I heard the new one that the Earth.
There's
is,
no new one. There is no new
it's-
one.
Okay, I heard some
Do
crazy
you believe?
one. My
Do
boy
you
is
believe
huge
that we
into
are? Do you believe? Do you
This is
believe?
gonna sound crazy. Ben Diggles, this is a shout out to you. He came to us and he listens to super conspiracy
Yes.
theory guy.
This is
Talking
not
about
even
how the Earth
conspiracy.
is flat.
Yeah, no, the Earth is flat.
Oh, here we go.
The Earth is flat. Earth is flat. When?
Have you
Okay,
ever
let's
had
go.
vertigo? The Earth is not flat.
Let's go.
Come on,
Let's
Kai.
go.
No,
Say-
I'm just
say
saying
it,
that
say
they,
it,
It's not
say it.
flat.
No,
Let's
that,
hear
that
this. This is
all
what I wanna
these
hear.
things, all these things that particular groups. I won't even pinpoint one group that they almost offer up this education. The fact that in our lifetimes that there are so many holes and so many pockets
In our
of-
history.
in
It's
our history.
unbelievable.
But by the way, I want to go.
Let's
I
not
want
even
to say
get
that
to the
there is
pyramids.
there is
Oh,
just
God.
history. I don't want to dictate it to one race, dictate it to any one particular type of people or anything like that. History is history, and it's happened long before us, and it's going to happen after us. And it always repeats itself somehow, in some way.
Yep. Because we're stupid.
All these things that they keep giving to us,
All right,
all
the
this
BS.
information.
They're giving us bad hamburgers from McDonald's, dog.
You like the hamburger.
I don't eat the hamburgers. Only
That you can
chicken
compare to
sandwich.
watching your child be born. Yeah.
I have
Okay.
3, so I've seen a lot of
I'm
things.
just saying that these things that ultimately used to put me in fear in this
Yeah.
thing, and it used to be like, oh man, it makes you not want to question it naturally.
Yes.
Because of how much information you actually can figure out and how much information there actually is out there.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You can anything that you have a particular question on. Okay, is the world flat? Is the
Earth
world
flat?
is the Earth flat or round?
Yeah.
I think you need to do research on it. Like ultimately,
But
I'm
who's
not
to
gonna,
say the research that you do is going to give you the answer? Like,
Oh, it's-
who
oh, it's
actually
go-
has the answer?
Because it's right in front of our faces. I'm telling you, it's right in front of our faces. They lie to us.
Who?
So wait.
That's what I'm saying.
The man.
That's the question. It's not the man. It's not the man. It's not the man. It's not the man. What are we in 1998? Movie, yeah, the man. Oh, wait. I was just talking to somebody about the man the other day. I got mad at him the other day. Yeah, the man. He's holding me down.
Hold me down.
That. What were we saying?
So wait, Kai. So
He took me off. He took me off. What were you saying,
great.
Alex?
So-
oh, who are they?
Yeah.
They. Okay.
Kai, real quick.
Okay.
Okay,
Go
real
ahead.
quick. Do you believe the Earth is round or flat?
Look, for what I've known for as many years, and
What
what
you've
I've
been
come
taught.
to believe, what I've been taught, is that the Earth is round.
Yes.
But I mean, if you really think about it from a landscape of the way we travel, the way we move, and the fact that can you really think of us rotating around the sun and all planets aligned, rotating in specific dates, being perpendicular with what's going on with these planets and stuff like this.
How are you
And
going to put
the-
planets in quotations?
I'm going to put
implying that-
planets because everything that they send or they want to say that they're sending,
They thought Pluto was a
Doesn't come
planet
back.
until like 4 years ago.
it doesn't come back. There's no concrete information except for the information that they're giving us. They're particularly putting you in a direction of what to believe and what not to believe. And
Al-
the truth is right there. You just got to go searching for it.
Allie, how
I've
do
been
you-
searching for it for a while.
That's what I'm. Why search for something you're never going to find an answer to?
Well, what do you
It's
mean?
Why
the,
mess
because
with-
journey of finding it because
Yeah.
it's like it's almost expanding. Like
Who wants to go on a journey that doesn't have an end?
this is
I-
called life.
What do you mean?
Who wants to go on a journey
Journey-
that has no end? You're not
Well,
going to ever find out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. See, that's why you have to put some of those things on hold.
Some
See,
of what
like,
things?
all right, so the conspiracy theories, like I used to be, like I can go on,
Right, all day.
like about all the questions I have, but what it really came down to for me was everything that was particularly thrown in front of me, I had to just be like, okay, look, this is all a facade. Like this is all something that they ultimately want me to believe in. That is
Right.
true whether or not or whatever. But now there is a certain aspect of life in which I want to tell people about, which is this true journey of really becoming a complete individual in total freedom of thought. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
I got you.
See,
God,
I mean,
man.
I mean,
God, preach, brother.
I'm with you.
Freedom of thought where
It's not so much
emotions,
the journey, it's the ability to question things.
yeah, no,
It's
no,
the
but
ability to question things.
You're
it's
not
the ability
ever
to
get an
question
answer.
things.
Yeah,
But
like,
even if an answer doesn't come back,
Yeah.
that you're perfectly fine with that because you were never living in that particular truth.
Right.
There's a falseness in stories and things that people want you to believe, and ultimately what they throw in front of us, and I keep saying it.
Basically, there was 2 shooters with JFK. There was not one.
See,
man, listen, here
see
we
that-
go.
The fact that a man signs 21 days before he gets assassinated,
Yeah.
he wants to end the bank cartel in the world, and all of a sudden 21 days he's assassinated, and the fact that Bob Marley's birthday just passed, and the CIA hired Jamaican people to try assassinate Bob Marley. There were multiple assassination attempts on Bob Marley. The fact that he tried to bring people together, and a fact that it was fundamentally brought on love and truth, and we kill people for doing the right thing like that.
And I'm gonna be really,
I mean,
I'm gonna be really
if
honest.
this podcast is going way left, I completely understand.
Keep
if you guys
going
don't want to
left.
talk about it,
I like
no,
that.
but
what-
I'm completely
making a
fine
big
with
loop
it.
around the block.
what I have learned,
Because the Earth is round.
what I have learned is, in life, do not try and bring people together. Boy,
Oh yeah.
they will take you out so fast.
Oh,
so
yeah.
fast.
Oh, do not try and bring
Oh,
people
yeah.
together.
In what
They will
way?
Well,
every which way.
just Bob Marley only preached togetherness. He gone.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Martin Luther King only preached togetherness. They took him out.
Yeah.
You guys
Martin
preach
Lu-
togetherness
Mal-
all the time.
Malcolm
On our
X.
team.
Malcolm X was anti one group, but then he went to Mecca, came back, and was like, "I believe that Muslim brothers and sisters come from all colors, race, He gone.
Yeah.
You know,
We
I'm
can
just
keep
saying.
going.
I think that my ultimate goal, and I think some of their goals, was to ultimately drop what race means in the entire world. Like, I mean, the fact that you're a human, Ali, you're a human, Rafa, you're a human, RJ, you're a human, Chance.
Somebody
lizard
could be an
the
alien.
fact that we can't
Somebody
live
could be an alien.
harmoniously
Could be a lizard
together,
man.
that blows my mind. So what do? They create separation in race. They create separation in class. They create separation in different things that will ultimately spread people apart. And that's the way you control power. That's the way you control power in the whole entire world.
Kyrie,
You
many,
dictate all that.
many years and moons down the road when you are no longer on this earth, what do you want people to remember you or know you as?
He questioned that the earth was flat.
That there was a far bigger purpose and calling for me, bigger than basketball. This game, I love it so much. I dedicate a lot of my time to it, but I also have found out that working on myself can also coincide with being a basketball player and being the best that I can be. I always thought that, okay, I don't have the energy. So when I go home, I listen to Jiddu Krishnamurti, and I'm listening to audiobooks while I'm taking naps, and I'm thinking about things. So ultimately, not only for my generation, but the next generation, after that, the current generation, how do I make an impact by not just coming out and say I support one group or one race, or I support this, and then ultimately it has an opposite. If it has an opposite, if it has something that the other person can say is negative, then that means that ultimately it's not the truth. The ultimate truth is one way no matter what. If we live in that truth every single day, it's only one way. There is no, well, I want to be friends with this person, or I want to talk about, okay, we'll bring up like police brutality. All right, we'll talk about this for months and months and months and months and months. But still, I mean, we can change the job landscape. We could change this. We could change that. But at the end of the day, until we fundamentally love one another and understand that the journey in terms of where we all come from has some beauty in it while we're all brought together. I didn't say that by any chance when I said that the championship team was brought together for any reason. Like little things like that and moment-to-moment things like, okay, take an appreciation for you getting ready for a game. Why don't you take a second just to enjoy the shower that you in? When's the last time you ever just was like, you know what? I'm not worried about anything but this moment right now. I'm only worried about loving this next person that I love. I'm only worried about getting everything I can get out of myself in the game of basketball. I'm only worried about getting everything I can take knowledgeable in this book. That's how you live in every single moment, free of thought. You're just like, you're not emotionally attached to one thing. So me being in a conversation with someone else, I'm going to give them everything. But also I can share with everyone else. I have enough energy to give it to everybody. So selfish in sharing that energy. It's like there's enough. There's enough of all of us to go around. There's enough moments and energy for all of us to live in that. And I believe in that. I really do. And I'm still learning how to communicate that with people through my actions, through who I am. I want to be free of my emotions. I want to be free of thought. I want to be in total freedom. I want to be in control of this. So ultimately, I can share with everyone. And then I still have it for myself. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Boy, you deeper than the other end of the pool.
And me and Channing like to talk about our favorite beer.
Yeah. Oh my God. No beer, man. Can't be cutting the carbs. Favorite wine,
Kai,
at least.
that's one of the things that I think part of the reason why I think as a group we wanted to start this podcast is because very rarely do you get an opportunity to express yourself and put out your thoughts free of restrictions, right? Yeah. We can put that out for fans to listen. They want to know who you are. Yeah. They want to know about this team. They want to know what makes us tick. Guys always like, what can I do to be a better basketball player? Or what Kyrie is like. Well, a lot of it has to do about your thought process and how you approach things from a physical standpoint, from a mental standpoint, from just a growth standpoint. Yeah. And I think the best thing about this pod and doing it with you guys and getting a chance to sit down, because you and I, we have spent tons of dinners together. We've been in game 7s together. We've been on bus rides together. We crack jokes with. But this is one of those rare times where we all get to sit down and just talk for 45 minutes, talk for an hour.
It's awesome.
Yeah, no, man.
I love it.
No, it gives an insight to you that I think people out there don't know, and I think is awesome.
Appreciate it.
No one cares about what
about you
thinks.
guys? What about you, Channing?
I think, I agree on Kyrie with a lot of things. It's like, I think my biggest thing, especially like when I had a year off where, when somebody tells you you're about to die, you kind of like reevaluate your life. And so, for me, with just being in the present, and I would get mad anxiety because I'm always trying to control things, not only so that I'm happy, so other people are happy. And what I found out is
it's the other way.
It's the other way around. People are
happy.
Exactly. Yeah. When I'm happy, the empathy that I have with my family and my friends is contagious. And so, like I told people, it's like when I'm out there playing, I get frustrated because I expect to play at a certain level. But, dude, I'm looking at the crowd like, who gets to do this on a daily basis? When I say this is all I have to do today, literally that's all I have to do. As tired as I am, I thought, okay, I'm done. I get to go home, go to sleep, and I have to do this again. And then I get to fly to some awesome place and just spend time with the people that I love. And I think it's hard for us to not be in the present. And I think it's like it has to do with phones. It has to do with materialistic things. It's always like, what can I get better? Because you say, like, if I get a new car and somebody else gets a new car, somebody's like, oh, man, that car has the new touchscreen in it. Damn, I need a new car. Yeah. But did you even appreciate the car that you have? Or do you appreciate, like, the fact that, like, it's Valentine's Day, the fact that, like, somebody called you or texts you? Do you appreciate the time that people give? Because at the end of the day, Champ said something great. It's like you could buy everything else in this world except for time, And time is important. And the time that you have with the relationships that you build in that time is the most important thing that you're ever going to have. And that's why, like, for me, I don't really hate nobody. I may hate one or two people. But other than that, I love everybody, and I'm trying to get to know everybody's point of view because I think it's so amazing. Like, Allie, you're from some podunk town in Ohio.
That's insulting.
Eventually, we're gonna find out how you made it to where you made it because there's some awesome story. It's like you went from the high tops to the knee braces, to now you're here talking with us, and who knows where you're going to go. So for us to have a relationship, especially do it on this podcast, I think it's amazing. It's like we come from all these different worlds. He's from L.A. sort of, but he grew up in Phoenix. I'm from, grew up in kind of New York but New Hampshire and then moved to Phoenix. And then Kyrie's from Jersey.
Born in Australia.
Born in Australia. But, like, how the heck does that come together? Yeah. It's mind-blowing. And then it's like, man, hey, I used to watch you when you were playing. Hey, I used to watch you when you were playing. And all of a sudden now we're on the same team. I don't know how many teams can really say. I've been on a lot of teams, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know you. Like, I don't know where you're from. I've never seen you before. No correlation to you. But the relationships that we build and the time that we give each other is extremely important.
No, but that's one of the things that, like you said, it's like everyone comes from different areas. And I had teammates. You might remember. You're a Jersey kid, but there was a kid on our team, Nenad Kristic.
Yeah.
And then there was another one, Zoran Planinic.
He's from Serbia.
And
Planinic
was from Croatia.
Yeah.
Now, so I would sit next to these guys. Now, mind you, these guys were in their early 20s, so they were growing up during the civil war in Bosnia and Herzegovina, the former Yugoslavia. So they were growing up in that time, and so I remember sitting, and they would sit next to each other because they spoke the same language. But I was close friends with Zoran probably more than Nenad. But I would ask them questions just because I was curious, and they were like, "Oh, if our dads sat next to each other, they would try and kill each other."
That's
but
crazy.
Here these two guys are 10 years because it was in the mid-90s, and so here we are in 2003, so less than 10 years later, and two kids that grew up in that time, that grew up during the Civil War, during the genocide, during just the crazy, crazy time, the breakup of the Yugoslavia. Now these guys are sitting next to each other, sharing meals, playing basketball.
Yeah.
Like that's something that people don't ever really fully understand, what this game can do, how this game can bring people together.
Yeah.
Like it's mind blowing. Like that to me, I learned early on. It's different. We all come from LA.
When you just
or
focus on basketball, you're not even getting 1% of what this journey is about.
Yeah.
If you're out there like, I got to play good, you're missing out on the whole purpose of us playing basketball. Like I started playing basketball, and I started loving it because that's where I would make friends, because I'd be like, man, you guys understand me, and this is where I'm comfortable, but yet you see me at my most vulnerable.
Yeah.
There's nothing more vulnerable, either missing a last-second shot or not playing good or somebody barbecuing you, where you have to put your pride to the side, or you get dunked on, and you got to look at all your boys like, damn,
I'm at my most vulnerable at basketball. Like basketball for me was a way to compete. To this day, I'm just a competitor. I don't care what it is. Like I could have been playing any sport. You give me an opportunity to compete, that's what drives me. That's why I wake up in the morning. That's what makes me want to do everything. But it was like, my wife was like, I don't think I've ever seen you cry. Not even at the birth of your own son.
Yeah, you were crying like a baby.
But I was crying like a baby after we won that championship. It was because I said this. I'd never dreamt about the day of being a father. I never dreamt about that. Like I look forward to it, but the day that I dreamed of was trying to be a champion. Every day I woke up, every time I had surgery, every day something wasn't right, and just pressing. I dreamed about that day, and so it was an emotional moment. Now, with my son and my family, and my two sons, it's a different emotion completely. But I feel like at times I've been my most vulnerable at basketball, like just emotionally and putting yourself out there, because there's nothing worse than just being on that island.
No, Allie feels like that every time we get on the podcast. She cries herself to sleep. I want to do it tomorrow.
Do what tomorrow?
The podcast, girl. Were you not paying attention?
I was
you over there folding origami.
I was actually somewhat, I don't want to say the opposite, but it was split.
Yeah.
It was split down the middle because my dad gave me the ball. I had an interest in it anyway. But, when I was in school, I wanted to be friends with the basketball team.
Yeah.
But then I also wanted to be friends with my band classmates.
Yeah.
You played
my
the
jazz
instrument?
band.
What
I
instrument
wanted
did
to.
you play?
I played the baritone.
Did you?
The baritone?
I was carrying that thing home, man.
Dude.
Practicing, man.
Oh, dog. Are you kidding? I played
I
the
was
trumpet, so I had
good.
get braces.
3 years of chorus right here. This guy. 3 years
Alto?
of chorus.
No, he was talking about the chorus like at church.
No, I'm talking about
at
the
school.
Choir.
At school.
Yeah, chorus, orchestra,
You
band.
are
Yeah.
easily the worst singer I've ever
I'm a
heard.
terrible singer, but
What were you?
The girl to guy ratio was like 12
Tenor,
to 1.
bass?
Oh, my God.
The girl to guy
That makes
ratio was
sense, though.
I had
makes sense.
and it was the easiest A you could ever get.
That
You
makes
show
sense.
up, you sing, you try your best. They don't grade you based off your singing ability. They grade you based off showing up for the concerts and at least trying in class. That's all they grade you on. Now, instruments are different.
Yeah.
But if you just had to be
I used
like
to
Corey, because you had the
slay
band,
Jurassic
the
Park,
band would
the theme
play,
song to that.
the chorus would sing.
On the trumpet?
Just have a good time.
How much of playing the trumpet was an attraction to you because there was only 3?
But baritone's only
baritone's
3
the
too.
same thing. It's a mini tuba. You know what really got me into
Mini tuba.
music? My dad came home one day. My dad and my grandpa were big jazz listeners. So it was all they would listen to all the time. And then we would go to jazz festivals in Sedona. So, I was always around that kind of music. So they were like, hey, do you want to try an instrument? and I tried the violin, and I tried the viola, and I was like, okay, I got to switch to the big boy stuff. Give me a trumpet.
By the way, people, Sedona, top 5 beautiful places in the world.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
It's amazing.
Unbelievable. But, dude, I started playing it, and it was like,
Played the violin.
dude, it was like in
You're
second
way
grade.
too big. You were 7'3" in 2nd grade.
No, I wasn't. I think I was like 5'6".
He was trying to get. Oh man,
You were trying to get beat up.
Back in my heyday, what grade were you when you played the violin? Yo,
Second
I'm
grade.
like,
Second
hey, yo,
grade. Second
hey,
grade.
you with the violin?
Yo, give me
Yo,
a-
come here, bro.
Come here, bro.
Yo, come
No,
here,
no.
man. Can't yo, why are you? You're 7 foot with a violin.
No. I switched over to the trumpet. I got
Yeah,
some
man.
cool kid.
Nothing's wrong with the violin, but I'm just saying. Back in my heyday, when I thought, that's
Oh,
what
no,
you
the
thought.
violin. Then I moved to the viola.
You said that you were the kind of the awkward stage.
Super awkward, always. It was the worst.
Hey, you know who I was?
Huh.
I was the guy that was not trying to lose in anything in gym class, and I started getting so mad in gym class, like, no, I gotta win.
Oh, that kid.
And then people stopped. People didn't like me.
Did you guys
I
have?
was so
did you guys
competitive.
have field day?
Yes.
of course.
Oh my god!
I was the worst.
I was the best.
I was the best at field day. That was the
The
only
worst.
thing. I promise you, I can tell you this day, I lost to Garrett Smith.
Oh, my
So
God.
I won. So the first, I lived in one part of Phoenix, and like your school, your class got to compete in everything: long jump, triple jump, high jump, whatever it was, 100, 200, 400 mile. So you got to compete in everything. And then
How
if
many
you
events
won,
did you do?
So I moved to my other school, and I was only the other school said each class had to have certain participants, so I was only allowed to participate in 4 events. So I did the 100, the 200, the 400, and high jump.
Oh, I was the worst.
Right? I got second twice, 5th grade and 6th grade, to Garrett Smith. He beat me in the 100, crushed the 200, crushed the 400, and won the high jump. That's it. So I won 6 out of my 8 events.
I
and
got
I'm still pissed off about
participation award. I got the ribbon. I had the ribbon.
I'm still pissed off for losing to Garrett Smith. It still bothers me. to this day.
You'll never forget that.
No, I'll never forget
You'll
because
never
I got
forget
second,
that.
and
Yeah.
it was a perfect record.
Sorry.
Sometimes it's great to ruin perfect
Sorry.
records.
6th grade basketball tournament. I hit the game winner, and I was like, "Yeah!" I was never, and I'm the nicest kid ever, and I was screaming at this other school because they were like,
stop it.
"He's lying. He's not that old." I was 6'2" at the time.
You were
so I was
6'2"
like,
in
6th grade,
in
and
6th
I hit
grade?
a game winner on him. Brighton named Mother effing Mouse.
Oh, here we
Still
go.
hate it.
Here.
Almost school.
5th grade,
Get it.
6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. 4-time champion, only been done in West Orange.
Yeah.
Me and my dad.
What were you
Me and my
doing?
dad.
What were you doing?
Basketball.
Oh, basketball?
Yeah.
Basketball.
Oh, you talking about field day?
Yeah, I'm talking
I
about
got
field
MVP
day.
once.
Oh, okay. Just
one
once?
time. It was really on.
Whoa, guys,
was-
I'm not going to lie.
It was really. It
A
was
little
easy.
turbulence.
It was easy, honestly.
Yeah, it was great. Well, yeah, it was fun. You were just out there destroying
Yeah.
kids. Allie, do you not like the turbulence? that
No,
we're
I
experiencing?
don't. And for our listeners, oh my God.
No,
What?
dude, yeah.
What-
Turbulence is
what-
no good on Big C Fry right now.
How does that
I
make
do have a really good.
Ooh, that
Well-
was a dip. That was a dip.
Well, this is the thing.
This is
I'm
real
not-
life. I do have a really good theory with all this. And actually,
Okay.
it goes back to my very first year, Kyrie, involving you. So when we were on, mind you, I was an education major, so I wasn't supposed to do this. And so
Right.
when I signed up, I had no idea how much you flew. Like,
Right.
I didn't get it. So I hate flying. Hate
So
it.
when you came here, was this the first time you flew on an airplane?
No, but it was probably like the 4th.
Okay.
So I'm sitting in the back, and anytime we hit any kind of turbulence, I would like shut down, like
Cry.
head between my knees, almost cry.
Read a book upside down.
I was always just afraid we were going to crash every single time. And if you
know
if
how
you
much
bring up
an
that
NBA team travel,
no, I had no clue. I'm telling you, I was an education major. Like I had no clue about any
What?
of this, right? So I'm sitting on the back of the plane, and my partner is Jeff Schaefer. It's been him for 5 years, right? So I'm sitting there, and finally, like midway through the season, he looks at me and he was like, "Allie," he was like, "Kyrie Irving is on our plane. God is not going to kill us." I'm like, "You're right. You are right."
And after that?
ever since, my theory is, is number one, if we die, we're going to be I'm going to be a part of one epic story. I just need to make sure my name is on that monument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
Why are we
but
talking
above
about
that,
this?
it's never going to happen because
She's morbid.
But-
She's grew up on a farm. man.
But really quickly, we're gonna Allie.
Kyrie,
we're-
does that make you feel special?
We're gonna interview Allie Clifton here for a second. So, how did you get this job? You were an education major. You didn't know how NBA teams traveled. How did you get this job?
I worked hard.
We all work hard. Everyone works hard.
No, it was
You
just-
have
I
one of
don't
the
know.
most coveted jobs in all of sports. Well, you actually
Well,
have
it
two,
used to not be coveted. Let's keep it
no,
100.
she has two of the most
five.
coveted
Oh,
jobs
never mind.
in all of
You're
sports.
right, you're right.
One, the host of this podcast, and second, you work for Fox Sports Ohio, and you get to do the sideline for the Cavs. So how did you get that job? How did that come about?
They saw her resume from Toledo.
I was an education major, and the day before final semester of my undergrad, I decided that I didn't want to do that anymore, so I changed my major.
Right.
All my
Same
credits
here.
transferred. I graduated. Stuck around and got my master's, and while doing that, I just started kind of dabbling in broadcasting. I had done 2 sideline gigs before I took this job.
This job,
which is really crazy.
Because this is your 5th year, and you were how old?
I was 23, 24. Right out of my master's. I graduated in 2012, in May of 2012, and I got this job in August of 2012.
Jeez, they just give these jobs out to anybody.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I had played basketball, so I at least had a little bit of knowledge, and I had a reel together that kind of showed that I at least knew what I was talking about.
This is Allie Clifton. They made a couple of shots and some dribbles.
It was amazing. They put the ball in the hole 5 times in a row.
Oh, my God. Is that a dunk?
I haven't seen a dunk before. That's great. See, in my town, in just outside of Toledo. No, I'm kidding.
So, Allie, what do you?
We're going to go on a tangent.
What are you going home after this conversation? Or what are there any other questions that you want to ask so I can help direct you to the right place?
Yes.
What do you mean?
You want to know about the Earth. About lizard
I'm talking
people.
about if you need a book recommendation, and you guys.
I do actually, with All-Star break coming up.
Good.
Where are you going for All-Star break?
Give me
Good.
Kai, what's your
Toledo, Ohio.
Kai, what's your favorite book for our listeners out there? Give me one or two books.
Give me a book to read over All-Star.
Yeah.
Green Eggs and Ham.
Oh God, Channing, that's above your reading level.
So
I was a great reader.
Oh God, yeah.
It was actually given to me from a friend, and I was going through a lot of stuff in my mind and my life, and the first book to the segue to other books is Osho, Emotions.
Oh.
You told me about this already.
Yeah, it's Osho, Emotions. It's literally like 100-something pages.
Got
It's almost like a paperback.
No, it doesn't
Channing
have
wants to know if
pictures.
it has pictures. Geez.
But it really put a lot of things in perspective. So, and then once I read that, then it was kind of like, it led me into other avenues. And then I met my my girlfriend, which has been unbelievable. She's been unbelievable for me.
Very
From
positive.
this book?
What?
No, he just put it out there in the universe, man. He needed some love. He needed somebody to love
It
him.
is Valentine's Day. You know what I'm saying?
It is
Right.
Valentine's
My girls helped me a lot.
What is your girl's name?
Gabrielle.
Gabrielle.
Ooh.
Yep. Call her Gabby
Beware.
for short. Yeah.
Kyrie is on his way home to give you a cold.
Money.
She knows that. She
Poor
knows
girl.
that. She knows.
Take that Zeke
Yeah.
So wait, the book led you to her?
No, the book led me to other books, but when I actually read, I don't want to give out all the other books, but it's by the author Osho.
Okay.
And I hate the word like guru or anything like that, but he has a lot of things that just put all our lives in perspective.
A lot of knowledge.
No, he has a ton of knowledge.
So technically that's a guru.
You know what? The crazy thing about it is that once I heard that, once I read that, because I was reading something that somebody put out about by Slam Online.
Right.
They wrote an article about me, so I was reading it and see if they got the gist of what I was saying. I don't really like interviews that just particularly just put me as a basketball player, like so much more than that. But he called him an Indian guru, and I got mad, and I was like, if I were to explain someone that had a lot of knowledge, wouldn't you explain them as just a knowledgeable person rather than an Indian guru?
You have to give a label. That's one of the problems.
Yeah.
That you have to put a label out there.
No,
Yeah, but
no. We don't have to put a label
I'm not
on it.
saying
That's the whole thing.
I'm not
okay,
saying
I'm not
have
saying
to.
we.
I'm saying people do that. Like they
Yeah.
feel like there's a validation by putting a label, by labeling you an amazing basketball player. It's like you're more than that.
Like
by just
absolutely.
by labeling someone a guru, you're like, no, they're just a very knowledgeable person.
We'll say this for the next podcast, but I've never liked the fact that of being a person that's like where I'm identified as like he's an amazing basketball player.
Oh man, but that's
Like, bro, I'm an amazing person.
That's like, okay, I've actually had this
don't know
conversation
me,
before,
though.
too, because I don't want to be
Well,
identified
I mean,
as
they
a
don't ask the
coach's
questions
wife.
though, Channing.
No, they don't.
They
They
don't.
don't
I
ask
mean,
the
if you spend 2 minutes, all of a sudden, just spending 2 minutes with me, all of a sudden you love you. Oh, I didn't know Kyrie was like that.
I forgot you play basketball.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait, but Al, you.
I'm just saying, like, there's so much more, like, to your point.
Yeah,
You aren't
there
just a
is.
basketball
There is,
player.
but and then they blame it on being identified. I don't mind. I'm in basketball. I get that. But since I've been a kid, I've always been like, yo, listen, basketball is not who I am. It's what I do. I enjoy it. I really, really enjoy it. I love it. But it's not who I am. If you ask the right question or ask the questions that if you were genuinely interested in getting to know someone as a person, would you start off by saying, you good at basketball, huh? Yeah, you like basketball? Yeah. Yeah.
I have a question for you, though.
What's up?
You know how you mentioned how in this world we separate people by races, by color, by stuff. Do you think it's possible to get everybody to think one way, or are we too far gone from thinking?
No, we're never too far gone.
Correcting.
We're never too far gone from correcting that, Rafa. I think that it just has to come from a point where, we can't keep putting power into ideas that aren't right. They aren't the truth. The fact that we can, like I said, I never want to make it a race thing, but the fact that they can continue to make slavery movies and put them out and throw it right in front of, quote unquote, the black race's face, and all of a sudden, and then they have an uproar, and all of a sudden we're like, everyone's wrong. And then, there's a Netflix thing that just came out. I don't know if you saw. It's called Dear White People, and all of a sudden they say, white people are in an uproar. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The fact that that is still becoming news, the fact that all that history that has happened, we acknowledge it. But I'm not gonna stay mad and give energy to an idea that has been wrong for so many years. I can't do that. I don't have the energy to give to that.
And we again, it's another podcast. But just to add to your point, is if you look at the history of black cinema, and the most successful movies are The Butler, Birth of a Nation, 12 Years a Slave, Amistad.
It's supposed to be a historic movie.
Like
it's supposed to be a historic movie, and they continue to make them and make them and make them, and then it's gotta come to a point where that all of that is accepted in terms of the labels, the identification, and I identify with this group, so I'm gonna go sit over there or. No. You keep putting fears and ideas in people's minds, and then of course, once one person believes it, it could spread like
the Earth is flat.
Like no matter what. I'm
gonna need some documents. I'm gonna need you to send me some articles.
I'll send
this next time
your Snapchat is about to get blown up.
Why?
There's so many people.
I call it being awake. I call it being awake.
I need being awake.
Awake.
You need to be woke.
People out there,
awake.
listen. This is what I need you to do. I need you to put on our Instagram page, Road Tripping. I need you to put links to articles that we need to read about the world being flat. If you have stuff on unicorns and the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus, I'm down to read those too. Not big on the Easter Bunny, but I'm interested in gaining some knowledge.
No, I think we all are. There's this point that we all come to where you want to really, really, really question things, but in our society, you're frowned upon when you ask. You're frowned upon when you want to learn more knowledge about something that makes someone else feel uncomfortable.
Like Columbus Day.
Oh my God!
No, I agree, and that's what I'm saying.
But that's what you're taught. You're taught Columbus discovered America. And it was like it just really in the last 10 years, people have been like, okay, enough with this whole Columbus discovered America stuff.
Think about this. As much knowledge as you have for surviving life, how much of that came from, or surviving just your life in general? So I'm talking about your job, your family. Yeah. How much of that actually came from, your educational system or like things that you've learned over time where you join a conversation, you have knowledge about it, but you're like, I'm not too sure about that. Did we get that? I think that comes from our educational system, brother.
Yeah, I have yet to use algebra.
Hey, we just landed.
No, we did. We talked for the whole time.
That was a good conversation.
And it could still go on.
We could.
So it will
absolutely.
be to be continued.
Don't get me wrong. I still will pay my taxes. I still will do things in order to survive in this here America. I will still do everything and love this country.
Well, Kai, man, we have one more game, man. But just from as a young boy, man, I'm happy. As an old guy, I'm happy for you in the All-Star game.
You're my guy.
Man.
You know that.
Good luck, man. I'll be watching. I expect you to go hard. You said you was going to go hard.
No, I am going hard.
You're going to go try and get that MVP.
When you score a three, can you
do a celebration for all y'all?
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
I
Like
will.
something for like.
Almost like I wanted to do a celebration after the long 3 I hit tonight.
Oh, it was deep. That was a deep 3.
It was like it was more of those F it moments.
Yeah.
We just talked about how you want to be free and live free. Why didn't you let it out?
I don't know. I'm so locked in during the game. It's just like I don't. I'm just like whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
It's one of those things.
All right. Well, thanks for joining. I don't even think you're not. You're technically a co-host. You're not. You're a co-host that joins us whenever he has time, whenever he's free.
No,
I wouldn't even call this a
I'm
guest.
free.
You're not even
free.
a guest.
Emotions.
You're
Osho.
There
Osho.
we go.
Got it.
Osho.
And to our listeners, subscribe. iTunes.
Well, they can only subscribe once.
And with that said, for Kyrie Irving, Channing Frye, Richard Jefferson,
Here we are, landed in Cleveland, Ohio. It's actually 70 degrees
I
outside.
am your host, Allie Clifton.
You're your host, Alec Clifton.
Everybody
Your co-host,
enjoy the
Kyrie.
Tornado
So long. Good
Tornado.
night, guys.